So I just discovered on my phone I can't pause a recording and answer the phone, and then I get off the phone and unpause the recording. As soon as I answer the phone, it stops the recording. That sucks. What's wrong with these smartphones, stupid phones? So, this is part 2. Where did I leave off? Oh, so Jeff and Mike. The full episodes will be posted on Jeff and Mike on Saturdays, starting this Saturday at 6 a.m. 4 days later, they will post on my friend's ministry's website or YouTube channel on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. So you guys get it first. And then eventually all of their subscribers on that channel will find out there's this other channel, and some of those people will be directed to Jeff and Mike. But because they have all kinds of content on their YouTube channel, this Jeff and Mike show will just be one of many different shows or types of content, stuff that they post there, whereas Jeff and Mike is exclusively Jeff and Mike, right? So Jeff and Mike is a YouTube channel dedicated to Jeff and I. And what I'll do, in addition to posting the full episodes on Saturday mornings, I've already gone through most of the episodes and put in time codes where I will do excerpts, short excerpts from the full shows, where some people don't watch a full 20 to 30 minute discussion, but some people will watch a 5-minute excerpt, or that covers, we go on all kinds of tangents in our discussion. So I went through and did time codes of where I think that'd be a good piece, that'd be a good piece, that'd be a good piece. So one of my things on my list before I can hit the road is to get about a month's worth of those excerpts exported and uploaded, right? A month's worth. It's going to be one a day. I think maybe including the day that the show posts, I think. We'll see. So one a day for a month is 25 to 30 clips that I need to subclip. Put the intro on, put the tag on, export, upload to YouTube, and schedule, and write in the description. I've written most of the descriptions already. It's cutting and pasting that stuff. So that's one of the things I got to do before I hit the road. I've got to have that show up and running before I'm off gallivanting around the country. So, there. In part 1, I did most of my honeydew list. So that honeydew list, and the last thing, the Jeff and Mike excerpts, that's not the honeydew list, that's the I gotta do list. That's the business, the work I gotta do list. Another issue regarding this road trip. So my wife, she doesn't want me to go, she doesn't want me to go, she doesn't, I need you. And I'm like, all right, I'll stay until the kids start school, which is tomorrow morning. And I was gonna hit the road tomorrow morning. Today she was like, she's got her hands full because she's teaching, she's preparing her classroom and her schedule and taking care of kids, and I'm about to hit the road. That doesn't, like, what? You get to go drive around and I have to work. Well, I'm doing work when I'm driving. It's going to take a while for her to get used to the idea that me recording these videos is actually work, that other channels are going to pay me. God willing, right? I was going to say fingers crossed, but that doesn't mean anything. God willing. The Lord willing. So I don't know what else is on the honeydew list, right? The honeydew list is not something that ever, done with that, no more honeydew list, right? The honeydew list is a perpetual list. There's already a ton of things on it that I could probably rattle off, but none of them are high priority that they have to get done ahead of this trip. But I'm sure she's going to add a few things. So another thing on my list is I have to record my Miracle Mom and Michael episode. Maybe I will do that before I post this and put the link in the description below. Maybe not. You may see in the description below the next episode of Miracle Mom and Michael. It's going to be recorded today or in the morning. So then, another thing. I think I started saying this and I forgot to end it. That another issue with this road trip is on Jeff and Mike, we have scheduled tentatively our first interview, and it's one of my heroes of the faith, one of the greatest influences on my Christian walk, and he's regarded as one of the top 50 intellectuals alive today. And I've met him many times, and Jeff has had him on his YouTube channel and in the past, and so I mean that's the realm they run in, right? This guy Jeff, he's a Christian astrophysicist, and he hobnobs with Christian philosophers. And this guy that we're going to interview, his name is J.P. Moreland. He's a philosopher of science. He's a professor at Talbot University, Talbot School of Theology at Biola University, and he has influenced my Christianity. My irreverent nickname for him is the fourth person of the Godhead. It's not blasphemy, it's a joke. There's the Father, there's the Son, there's the Holy Spirit, and there's J.P. Moreland. He's one of the most brilliant thinkers and just sensitive, real guy. And he has cancer, and he is going to die soon, and he is excited about it. And I want to get this interview in before I can interview him. And he's agreed to the interview, and that interview is scheduled for August 27th. It won't air, obviously, August 27th, but it's scheduled for August 27th. And I'm like, this road trip, it's open-ended right now. I want to go, obviously I'm going to Colorado, I'm going to Minnesota. I want to go to Pennsylvania, New York, Washington, D.C. I'd love to get down to Florida, Georgia, Florida, Alabama. I've got a bunch of you people that want me to come swing by. I want to go to Kentucky. I want to go to Tennessee. I want to go to Texas. And back through Arizona, Mexico and Arizona. And then, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do another road trip. Maybe if this one is successful, we'll do a nice short one. The other option is, because I got to get back for the interview. I talked to Jeff yesterday. I'm like, I could do it from the road. We could do a Zoom interview. He's like, I'd rather do it in the studio. JP won't be in studio, he'll be remote, but Jeff and I interact much better in studio. So he put that criterion, it has to be in studio, which means I have to be back. I rented the car until August 26th with that in mind, but as my departure is delayed and the end of the trip is unknown, because I can push the car rental out further. And I asked Jeff if he could push the interview into mid-September. I'll follow up with him on that. I don't know if he thinks that's a good idea or not, but it's like having this hard deadline to get back by the 27th. You know, schedules are crazy. So, thank you for letting me think out loud and fill you in on what, I don't have these conversations with my wife. She doesn't care. She just wants me around. But some of you care. So that's what I'm dealing with in my head day in and day out. I don't want to just, all right, I'm leaving, I'm going. I don't want her to be upset. I want her to be able to say, okay, you can go. Right? That's how you should do it. I mean, I rented the vehicle, or paying money for that. She's driving it right now. She's like, oh, I like this. Can we buy it from them? I'm like, we're not making any money right now. We can't buy a car even if it's used. We can't buy anything. You hear honking. Come get your car. We're done with it. My wife's car, it'll be a little while. They're going to wax it, deep clean it, whatever. Do I have anything else you care to hear about? It's funny doing these recordings because as there's a dead space, I'm like, oh, click away, click away, click away, click away. There's a bunch of people clicking away in the dead space. I'm like, he's got nothing else. I've tolerated enough. I can't believe I watched it this long. He has nothing to say. He's boring. Right? There's that cross-section of people that have followed me to this channel, even though this channel is for my Gideon's Army, for like, yes, there's a cross section that don't care about the long form stuff, that just want to know where I am if and when I get deleted, right? So there's that percentage. But then there's a percentage that just are haters, like that are like, you're insane. How do you believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ? How do you believe in these investigations going on, right? This just, those are like, who is this insane guy? He's just lost his mind. He has no grasp on reality. It's really interesting that there's that cross section that is out there, and there's a couple of you watching this. I don't know how many. There's a handful of you watching this right now that I'm talking to, right? That think I'm insane, and it's just sad that you think you're sane, right? You think you have all the answers, right? You think people can't rise from the dead, right? Because in your experience, you've never seen it. It's never happened, right? And so only those things which are in your experience can be real. It's like, what kind of tiny little universe do you live in? Right? What kind of tiny self-absorbed universe do you live in? My college professors told me, right? Your college professors, you think they know more than you, right? Your college professors are just guys that figured something out, studied a subject, and then in their classroom, they get to pontificate about any number of things that they're not experts in, right? They may be an expert in something, they got their degree and their credential or whatever, and they get to teach their subject. And then they also get to pontificate about whatever. It's their platform. And so you think because he's a college professor, he knows everything about everything, right? I love that professor. He was this and that, and he influenced me and told me this and told me that. It's like, I'm sorry, but every human has a little tiny grasp, like a little bit of information, and a big percent of that information is wrong, right? Every single one of us is mistaken about any number of things that we believe are true. Even me, even in my theology, right? There are things I believe in my theology right now that are wrong. I don't know which ones they are, but my goal is to figure that out, right? The goal is to grow, to move toward truth, grow in knowledge, and to reject the notion that the whole world is transformed because a guy resurrected from the dead, right? That's something that, for example, a guy named Josh McDowell, if you've never heard the name, he set out, he was a lawyer, like very intellectual guy. He's like, I'm a lawyer, I know what evidence holds up in court, I'm gonna just disprove this foolishness about this resurrection thing. I'm gonna disprove it. So he put on his lawyer hat and said, how can I base this investigation on? Oh, witness testimony, right? That's something every court trial has, witness testimony, and which witnesses are credible and which witnesses are not credible, right? It's like, all right, I'm just going to undermine all of these witnesses that claim to have witnessed it, to claim to have seen the risen Christ, right? And he digs in and he analyzes it, and I mean that's a lawyer's job, to destroy witnesses, right? If you're on the opposite side, your job is to undermine the opposition's witnesses. The guy became a Christian. The guy did the research. He's like, yeah, this must have happened. There's no other explanation for the testimonial and the transformation of those people and the entire world, culture. The world you live in, the Western world, those of you who are skeptics and atheists or agnostics, the world you live in, the Western world, is built upon the foundation of God's creation, his revelation, and not just in the Old Testament, the Ten Commandments, but love one another, right? This thing that this guy Jesus came and proved that he was God, and he said, this is the will of God. God is love, and when you love one another, you are fulfilling God's purpose in your life. All right, that's enough pontificating. That's my sermonette. I was supposed to save that for Sunday. All right, love you guys. I'm done. Talk to you later.